Hi everyone, welcome back. In this session, we are going to discuss about the Azure architectural components. So Azure architectural components are at high level can be segregated into physical architecture and logical architecture. The physical architecture is nothing but the physical locations or the data centers, the geographies, the availability zones, or the racks where actually these servers, the computing resources are hosted is nothing but the physical architecture. So basically, if you want to take an example, let's say how the Azure is organized in India, or Azure is hosted in the United States or United Kingdom. Basically, it can be related India as a geography, or United States, or something similar you can correlate to. And within these geographies, the regions are available. Okay, so regions basically nothing but a set of the data centers deployed within a latency defined perimeter and connected through dedicated regional low latency network. That means if you see here the left hand side example where each of these I am showing an example of the region uh, where there are three availability zones. Each of these are uh, separate separated by a physical distance of at least 200 miles physically. Okay, each of these are nothing but a data center on its own have the independent power and electricity and cooling capacity. So these are called the availability zones here. And when you combine each of these are connected to dedicated network which is very low latency, and when you combine these it's called a region. And internally again these data centers will have the racks which will be hosting the servers which will support the computing resources. Okay, for example, if you want to show you the example in the Azure portal, for example, United States, when I choose a geography, if you go to global infrastructure under Azure, you will be able to see list of the geographies here. And for let's say for United States, if you want to see a number of regions, so here you can see that East US, Central US, East US 1, East US 2, East US 3, and North Central and South Central. Similarly, if you want to quickly check for India, the regions uh, are distributed into Central India, South India, and West India. That means in each of these regions, uh, basically there is a separate data center of the Microsoft Azure which are hosted, and also each of these have the availability zones. Okay, I hope this part is clear. Let's move on to the logical architecture. Logical architecture basically is organized into root tenant management group. Okay, so when I say management group, it's nothing but logical container. Like for example, if there are various access control policies, various security measures, various restrictions you want to impose as an organization, so at each of this resource level it will be very difficult to manage, or even at the subscription level, which we are going to talk about in few minutes. So to logically organize this is, you can just correlate as a logical container. The management groups will be a logical container to control your subscriptions if you have multiple subscriptions in your organization, which will help you to ease the governance policies like the access measures and policies and security measures, and any other governance action you want to take in your organization. Okay, that's about the management group. And internally management groups contain the subscription, and subscription internally can be under the resource group, and in each of these resource group contain the various resources like the virtual machines or the uh, load balancers and virtual private networks, and any other component like storage can be organized or can be correlated to the resource. Okay, uh, so all of these resources can be managed using the Azure Resource Manager, which we are going to talk about in next session. I hope this part is clear. Thanks for watching, and we will catch back in the next session. Thank you.